Hi all, welcome to Java Talent. In today's video, I'm going to cover this is the extension of Actuator Endpoints video what I have previously created. So you can just go through the video that where I have discussed all the actuator endpoints, how we can go through the Spring Boot actuator. So there is the notification is coming. You can just click on the I button and you can go through that video. And in the today's session, basically, I'm just going to show you the demonstration of one endpoint, which is info, how we can create our custom info endpoint, and then how we can make our Spring security for actuator endpoints. Whatever the endpoints is there, so for that, how we can make our Spring security. And then I will go with this creation of the custom endpoints. So you can create your endpoints and you can make it available as per your requirements. So this will be the custom endpoint basically. So let me go through that code. So here I'm just creating one new project, Spring Starter project simply, and I'm just taking it as Spring Boot custom actuator. And apart from that, like all the things, I'm just going to leave it as Spring Boot custom actuator, custom actuator example. And then here I'm going to select Spring Boot actuator endpoints. If you want, you can use DevTools, otherwise not required. And then Spring security, I will add later point of view. Let me add this Spring Web only. So this basically I'm just going to use these two only, Spring Boot actuator and Spring Web for our RESTful applications. So let me finish it. Okay, my project is ready. So let me create one controller with the package first. com.javatalent.controller, and here I'm going to create one controller class, custom actuator example. Okay, and let me make it as rest controller, and then here I'm just creating one simple method, public string print message. So this will print the one simple message, return or welcome to Java, and this will become get call. Okay, so now I'm going to make it as hello. Okay, so if you simply hit this endpoint, it will access through the whatever the endpoints you are going to call. Let me run this project and it will uh, get through it one. That is running on 8080 with the actuator endpoints. Means our actuator endpoints is enabled with default one. So I have created that with the custom endpoints. How we can make your custom endpoints means how we can change the default one. And here I'm going to cover today how we can create our customized endpoints. That's how we can create our custom endpoints actuator, our self actuators. So let me use that hello. So this will print our message. We are good. There is no problem. So this is the simple one, and this is the your actuator basically. So you are getting the default one. What it will be health. So this is the default one. If I want to make any specific actuator to activate, or all actuator I want to activate. So for that one, you needs to write one configuration in the properties file basically. So that is nothing but management dot endpoint dot web dot exposure dot include. So we needs to make the set of endpoints. Whatever we wanted to enable, we can do this similar way. Health, info, beans, and env. This one I wanted to include. Or if you want to include all endpoints, you can simply write like star. So let me write star. I have created for this one video. You can go through that, and let me run this project. So this time you will get our all the actuator is coming up. Okay, friend, we are getting the what we are going to do. So let me go through the next one. So next one is like info endpoint basically. How we can create our info endpoint enable, and how we can pass our informational message to that particular actuator endpoints. So let me not enable all. Let me enable a specific one. So I am enabling health, info, beans, and environment. So let me do that. Okay. So our info endpoint is enabled. So now I need to make one configurations to enable actuator info endpoints. So that is basically, let me write management dot info dot env dot enable. If you see, there is the one boolean configuration it is asking. So that we needs to enable. So this is basically to enable the info endpoint. And now I need to write some custom message what I wanted to get through this properties file. Custom properties. So which is, it will start from the info dot. I'm just wanted to give some additional informations. Info dot app name. What is our app name? Spring Boot Actuator example. And then info dot app dot version. I just wanted to give v1 dot 1 dot 1 dot 0 dot 0. Okay, let me make it small. Info dot app dot description. I wanted to give some descriptions for my project. This is a Spring Boot Actuator POC project, proof of concept, and then info dot and author equal to Java talent. So this type of information you can provide through this info endpoints. So this is our info endpoints enabler. So these properties we can make it as enable. Actually by default enable is means if you write this one it will enable, but if you want to pass this custom properties, so for that you need to enable this info endpoints to, then it will get the your custom value from this properties file. So basically that is the things. So now let me hit the endpoint by running our project. So let me run it. So our project is up and running. So let me hit that endpoint. So we are getting our the things, that is not a problem. See, info endpoints. Basically, if you go through the earlier video, we were getting just the braces, like the blank braces was there because we are not given any informations But here we have given this information, even though if you not enable this configuration, then you will not able to get that value. Let me show you. Let me stop. This message will not appear. It will be a blank. So you need to enable this endpoint. See, our endpoint is null. So basically that is not populating any value, but our endpoint is there and it is activated. It is enabled. But to get the properties value of that info endpoint, we need to make this configuration, this enable configuration. Then only you can get that value. So let me show you now. Once it is restarted, see, our app name is there, version is there, description is there, and we have given app.author Java talent. Fine. So this is the endpoint which I wanted to cover you. Next one is to enable the Spring security for Actuator endpoints. Basically, so to enable the Spring security for Actuator endpoints, we need to add one starter. Let me add this starter. So simply you can go through this one, right click on the project, go to the Spring, add starters, then here you can add your one starter. So I'm just going to add this Spring security starter for now. You need to select form.xml. Let me stop this server, and it will add your one dependency. See, there is Spring security. See, Spring security one has been added, starter security. Fine. So now in this time I just wanted to make one means login things like the security things for our endpoints. Once you added the security endpoints security dependency, then we needs to make some properties like the for the security purpose. So we needs to add security username and password. So let me do that. Security configuration. So to do that, spring dot security dot username. So I wanted to make our endpoint secure. So spring dot security dot user dot password. So I just wanted to give the same as the password. So this is security configuration. So it will automatically pop up one one login page for your secured endpoints. Okay. So now let me see the some of the endpoints which is secure, and then we can access that. So let me run this project. Okay, I will hit the one secured endpoints. So let me go with the matrices. Matrices. Once you hit the endpoint, then it automatically go for the login page. See, if you provide any value and if it is fail, so bad credentials. Okay. Now we have given our credential as Java talent and the same password. So let me sign in. So see, matrix we have not enabled. For that reason, it is not coming up. So let me hit the another endpoints like info. So it is coming up. So this is what like if you want to get the secure things for your endpoints, you can do like this way. The next is how we can create our custom endpoint, means custom actuator endpoints. So this is some of the interview questions also asked. So you can see to create a custom endpoints. So one of the great features of a Spring framework is that it is very easy to extend. Means we can extend its predefined things as per our requirement. So we can create our own custom actuator endpoints. There is the one annotations endpoints. Let me go through that. On a class we can make it as, and then we can create our custom endpoints for the actuator. So let me create one package com.js Java talent dot. I'm just creating one package as endpoint, and let me create one class, my custom class. It will be my custom class. So my custom actuator. Okay. So on top of that, our custom actuators, we needs to take the help of @endpoint. See, identify the type as the being actuator endpoints that provides the information about the running application. Endpoints can be exposed over the variety of technology, including JMX and HTTP. So let me declare. And then to make our class as the bin, we need to make this class as component, because this is our custom class. And then there is something like how we can means there is simply one method. I'm just going to write to demonstrate it. Public string endpoint. It will return one simple print statement like message. So hello, this is message from custom endpoint, custom actuator endpoint. Let me do that. Custom actuator endpoints. Okay. So make this as the bin. We need to annotate it with bin, and to make this as actually I'm just going to make it as read operations. See, identify the method on an endpoint as being a read operation, so that it will read it. Fine. If you notice, we needs to write endpoint as the by providing some value as the ID for this endpoint. That ID will become our actuator endpoints. Like info we are using, matrices we are using. So for that reason, I need to pass value here as the ID. So ID of the endpoint must follow the endpoint ID rules. So there is some rules. So that needs to be followed here. So I'm just going to give the name as my endpoint. So this is my endpoint name, actuator endpoint name. So this will be, we needs to configure. We needs to as we are configuring our info matrices and all to actuate to run that actuator. So similar way, I needs to configure this one. So let me go with the application.properties file. Here we are enabling info, health, beans, environment. So such manner, I needs to enable my endpoints, what we have created. Same thing you needs to put it here. So let me better way copy and paste it. Okay. So we are ready, and we have already enabled this, included all the health and info, beans, environment, and our custom endpoints as well. Okay. So now we need to test this custom endpoints. So let's run this project. And if you hit your actuator endpoints, it will list out. Okay, it is asking for the username and password because we have implemented security. Fine. So it is coming up. See, our endpoint is coming in the similar way. Actuator, beans, health, info, all is coming in the similar fashion. Our custom endpoint is also coming. And if you hit your custom endpoint, it is printing your message. Hello, this is message from custom actuator endpoint. Fine. Okay. So this is what we wanted to cover in the today's video. Thanks for your time. Please like and subscribe my channel to get more updated videos for Java and Spring Boot. Thank you.